Hey guys, we're gonna be making cookies. I have, I think, 5 or 6 cookies recipes. I'm hoping, I'm gonna do all but one today because one is specifically for my husband's work, and so I'm gonna make that on Monday. But I'm hoping to do 2 recipes per video. This one is technically gonna have 3, but not really. I mean, we're gonna do oatmeal cookies, but I'm gonna do regular oatmeal cookies and then I'm gonna add raisins as well. So that's why I said technically 3. And then we're gonna do peanut butter oatmeal cookies. So those are the 2 recipes we are going to do in this video. Alright, since I'm looking so lovely today, sarcasm, I'm just trying to switch things up. I know it gets a little boring and repetitive when the video is in the same format every time. Trust me, I added them. So those of you who are watching them, I really do appreciate it. I am trying my hardest to get better. But anyway, so we're going to start with the basic oatmeal cookie. You are going to need 1 cup of unsalted butter. I use salted butter in everything, including cookies, and I've never had an issue with it. So if you prefer salted butter, definitely use salted butter. I actually, because it calls for a teaspoon of salt, I'm actually going to do a ½ teaspoon instead of a regular teaspoon since I use salted butter. So I kind of just cut the salt intake in half if I use salted butter. Anyway, so 1 cup of butter. The recipe says unsalted if you want to follow the exact recipe. For brown sugar, we are going to need 1 1/4 cup packed. So, and then regular sugar, we are going to need 3/4 of a cup. 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I still have some of the store-bought stuff, so we're going to use all that up before we go to homemade. We need 2 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, if you're following the actual recipe, that's what you'll need, is 1 teaspoon of salt. If you're following what I'm doing, I'm going to be putting in ½ teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, ½ teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 cups of old-fashioned oats. Something I'm adding is ground cinnamon. I will probably add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, maybe a ½ tablespoon. But I like cinnamon in my oatmeal cookies, and I was shocked that this recipe didn't even have cinnamon in it. So let's get on with it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get our, first preheat your oven, 350 degrees. I always forget to tell you guys that. Preheat your oven, 350 degrees. And then we're going to get our butter and our sugars into the mixing bowl, and we are going to cream those together. So make sure your butter is softened, or at, basically put it at room temperature. It doesn't say you have to do it for this particular recipe, which is weird. Most of the times you bake, unless you're making like biscuits or something like that, you want your butter to be at room temperature. All right, so my brain just shut off. I had all my measuring cups. There they are. Oh, I forgot to mention raisins for the raisin cookies if you're going to put raisins in them. All right, so for brown sugar, I need to get me some bowls that I can just pre-prep everything and then dump them in. So maybe in the new year I will do that. All right, so for our brown sugar, and hopefully you guys can see me because this is a different angle, and when I looked at the viewfinder, it looked like you'd be able to see me, but maybe not. All right, so we need brown sugar. I did buy more brown sugar, more flour, and I already have regular sugar, an extra bag of regular sugar. So I'm hoping I have enough of everything to make everything. The only thing I'm worried about is eggs. I did not buy eggs today when we were out because I was like, well, I have a whole container, so we should have enough, right? All right, so there's 1 cup of brown sugar pack, and then we need 1/4 of a cup. I also looked into making my own brown sugar. I haven't been able to find molasses anywhere, so I might look into that in the future as well, making my own brown sugar, because I tend to go through it quite often. I mean, it's pretty affordable, but I don't know. We'll see. That's it for brown sugar. Let me set this back here. Regular sugar, we need 3/4 of a cup, and I don't have a 3/4 cup, so next year I'm planning on buying new measuring cups. So I will hopefully get one that has a 3/4 cup, because it seems like everything needs a 3/4 cup. So I'm gonna do 1/4 cup 3 times. Oh my gosh. And, all right, so then we're gonna cream this together, and then we will add our next ingredients. It's kind of creamed together. Now we are going to add our eggs and our vanilla. So 2 large eggs. I'm telling you what I need. I think I mentioned this in a video. I want a rolling cart. So like I can get, that has doors on it. Or maybe drawers would be better. But I want to get a rolling cart with all my baking stuff in it. And it would be so much easier. Because right now all my baking stuff's in this cabinet. Obviously if I keep opening and closing it, that's going to be in the frame. But I have no counter room. After Christmas I'll have tons of counter room because I won't have the decorations. But yeah, 2 eggs. I need to open this. And I have a garbage bowl here. I guess I could put my butter scraps in there too. I always try to remember to have a garbage bowl when I'm cooking because it really does help. Thanks, Rachel Ray. And then vanilla. I need a towel. I have clean towels. They're just out in the garage and I haven't brought them in yet. So we're going to use this little bitty Santa hand towel. Alright, so the vanilla, 2 teaspoons. I have my teaspoon. Right, yeah. So 2 of these. Vanilla, I don't know how to explain it. Vanilla is one of those that I always end up adding extra of anyway because I like vanilla. So I'm going to do 2.5 teaspoons. Again, because I like it. And we'll put that in that cup. We'll set this aside. Raisins aside. Alright. So after that, we have to mix until combined. Alright, that seems combined. Now is the fun part. Now we get to add our flour, our baking soda, baking powder. Flour, we need 2 1/3 cup. I didn't get the 1/3 cup out. For some reason, I must have thought it said 1/4. Alright, 1/3. Alright. Nope, that's oats. Alright, flour. Oh! And by the way, I'm not like all dressed up and fancy because it's hot in this house. The air is at 73 like it always is, but when the oven is on, it gets so hot in here. So I do have a sweater on because I have a tank top, like a spaghetti strap tank top on, and I'm trying to be somewhat presentable. All right, so that's 2, and then 1/3 cup. And I'm gonna just scrape it on the side of the bowl. All right, so set that aside. 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm doing half a teaspoon, like I said. Let me actually dry this out because it's got vanilla in it. Go lay down. Go lay down. So we're gonna do about a half a teaspoon, and then we need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So that's baking soda. 1, 2, and a half a teaspoon. I actually have a half a teaspoon, I think. Well, that's a half a tablespoon. Half a teaspoon. All right, half a teaspoon of baking powder. All right, and cinnamon, because we want to get all our dry things put in now, minus the oats. So for the cinnamon, we're going to take this, and I'm just going to put 2 teaspoons. Sounds good, right? All right, and then we're going to start this off. All right, so stir until combined, and then we're gonna add our oats. I even bought more oatmeal, and this thing is full. My Christmassy-ish ones are up there as decoration, so yeah. They're not really even Christmassy, they're just buffalo check. So at our old house, everything was buffalo check, really. I love buffalo check, but this house, like my kitchen Christmas stuff obviously has buffalo check in it, but like it doesn't really match the kitchen. Like, I don't know. If this was my kitchen, I would not have that color on my cabinets. I'll just say it like that. Okay, that's good enough. 2 cups of oatmeal. Go lay down, bud. I'm gonna have to help it out. It's fine. This is for my family, so this isn't for his work. All right, so after you get your 2 cups of oats, you are going to mix them in. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like it says put parchment on your sheet. I'm still gonna spray it because I don't want stickage. I'm also gonna spray the scoop. All right, and we are gonna see how many I can get on one sheet. Because if it looks like it's gonna make a lot, I will just add raisins to this batch and after I do the regular, because My dad likes the raisin ones. I'm gonna do, because I don't know if they're gonna spread or not, so I'm gonna do this route. I don't know if you can see. You can't. You can't even see. There we go. I'm doing this route. And I don't know like how big they're gonna come out or anything. So I have a feeling we're gonna be adding raisins to this batch because there's still a lot in here. And we leave for Indiana in a week. So I'm really just trying to make my dad enough cookies to snack on this week because my sister-in-law usually makes a crap ton of cookies around the holidays. So we'll have plenty of cookies up there. Alright, so then we're going to put these in the oven for 8 minutes, it says, or until edges are just light golden brown and the centers should look a little underdone. I've never did this recipe before, that's why I'm kind of like, you know, well, I've made oatmeal cookies plenty of times in the past, not this particular recipe. And I've been trying to use other people's recipes besides the ones I've used in the past, just to try other stuff. Alright, so we're back at the mixing bowl, about to add some raisins. And whatever I don't use, I'm just going to take to my dad. I don't eat raisins. I think they're disgusting. And yes, I eat grapes. I love grapes. Everyone's always like, how can you not like a raisin if you like grapes? Well, I hate raisins. I think it's the texture. As a kid, I remember eating raisins, but I don't. As an adult, I hate them. And last year, he said I didn't add enough raisins, so I'm gonna make sure there's a damn raisin in every bite. Let's add a little bit more. I wasn't kidding when I said we're raisin it up. Raisin it up. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so the timer's beeped. And, oh, they're not. Can you see those? Let me move you. See how they're still pale? I think I made them too thick. Alright, we're gonna cook them a little longer. I'll be back. Okay, I added 4 minutes. Let's see if that was enough. That actually does look better. Alright, so we're supposed to let them sit on the cookie sheet for 2 minutes and then transfer them to a baking rack. So I still have one more cookie to make in this video. So, wow. I'm going to speed up a lot of like the repetitive stuff, but I still want to kind of include it. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, I edited, oh my god. I had taken so much out of this video already. And we're not even done with the oatmeal cookies. So, All right, we are on our second cookie, peanut butter oatmeal cookies. You're gonna need 1 cup of butter softened, which is 2 sticks, 1 cup of peanut butter, creamy or chunky, it doesn't matter, whatever your peanut butter preference is fine. The only thing it says is do not use natural peanut butter. 1 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1½ cup of all-purpose flour, 1½ cup of quick cooking oats, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am going to put like 1/2 of a half, you know, my whole thing. Oh, actually no, we're putting the full thing because it says salted butter. It specifically says salted. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's get started. All right, so preheat your oven to 350. I am gonna tell you that because I never do. And I'm trying to get this so it's not gonna fall on us, but it might fall on us. And if it does, I'm sorry. We are going to combine our butter, peanut butter, and butter, peanut butter, brown sugar, and regular sugar. And we're gonna beat until combined and fluffy.
Making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
All right, next we're gonna add our eggs and vanilla.
As long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh.
And now we are going to add our flour, baking soda, salt, and oats.
'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. Loving so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh.
All right, so this says golf ball size cookies, which I think my scoop is about a golf ball. It also says you can put 8 on a sheet, which is what I did with the other cookies. So (12 to 15 minutes) until cookies are browned around the edges and tops look mostly set. I put them in, I forgot to hit record, but I'm gonna start with 12 minutes and then check them. All right, so I just read And I want you to let them cool on the baking sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a second baking sheet out. And when these cookies come out, I'll put them over on the table to cool. We'll put these in the oven and then we'll just kind of rotate from there. All right, guys, that's the end of part 1 of our cookie making journey. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me making these cookies, and watch out for part 2 because it is coming.